Yeah, guys, we're rolling 181. We're doing audio only, which is fun. I definitely enjoy that. It's just going to be me today. This is what's interesting. I was thinking about this is we always feel like when people talk to those psychics where they think they're real psychics, and then they're always like, in a past life you were a warrior, or you were you were something cool. They never say you were a coward or you were a thief or anything that's lame, right? So I was thinking about this, and I am obsessed with Arizona, Tombstone, and the era in which Doc Holliday and the Earps. And it was only a 2-year period, really, in that area of Tombstone, because it was a boom town. They were making money hand over fist, right? And I always like to think what I would have been back then. We all like to think we're gunslingers. But let's be honest. Some of you are going to be cowards. Some of you are going to be just the bartender back there getting slapped, like in the movies. He just gets slapped. They just throw down any denomination of coin, and he gives them the bottle for some reason. But it's very interesting to think about. Like, really think about this stuff. For you guys out there, like, really think about this. What would you be? Now, I'm going to be perfectly honest. Here's exactly what I probably would be. I'd probably make it mid-range, then I'd get killed. I'd probably be mid-level, probably make it to my, 20s, early 20s, and someone would pop me. Because, look, I like drinking. I like gambling. I like the ladies, for sure. And I got a big mouth, and I like fighting, right? Now, and I guess back then, you hit the guy with the butt of your gun, because what's funny, in movies, they don't really show a lot of fist fights with the Old West, which is funny, right? Because there was a lot of fist fights, absolutely. And but I enjoy all that stuff, right? But I think, judging how I am now, right, I like fighting, but sometimes I think my brain thinks I can do stuff my body can't, and my mouth gets me into trouble I got to fight my way out of or whatever, so I believe I'd get in a few gunfights. I'd win a few. And then the last one would be like, you know what? I've had enough of your mouth. And then I'd get hit by someone who's a lot faster and tougher than me. I think that's how it'd go, realistically. I don't think I'd be a full Doc Holliday. I think I'd be halfway Doc Holliday. I'd be a Doc Holliday without the sharpshooting, I think, and maybe hopefully not dying of lung cancer, or dying of being a lunger, as they called it, which was I'm missing exactly what he had. What was wrong with his lungs? But they called him a lunger, which was kind of like a derogatory term of what he had. Because especially back then in the Old West, it was you get sick, and that's about it. There's no antibiotics, guys. You're not getting cured. You gotta get it out. You gotta fight it away. Your immune system better fight it away. You broke an ankle. You're just like, oh shit, I broke an ankle. And then the doctor over there would just snap that ankle back, throw a little tape a stick to it, and go about your day. So when you got hurt, you got bucked off your horse, and you blew a knee out. Well, look, those ligaments are blown out. That's all. There's not much you can do about it, unless there was definitely surgery. But some of the surgeries were just like, well, look, we're gonna go in on you. We're gonna give you some opium, and we're gonna go in on you, and we'll see what we find. We'll see what we can fix. So it's always interesting to think about what you would have been at that time. And I'm going to be perfectly honest with you guys. I'd make it to my 20s. Someone would kill me. My mouth would, as they say, would write a check that my ass can't cash, because I got a big mouth. I love to gamble. I like drinking. So I think that combo right there would definitely get me whacked by somebody who probably by like a Wyatt Earp. He'd be like, I've had enough of you, man, and just get rid of you. But let's be honest with yourselves. Some of you guys are just going to be the cowards. Some of you guys are going to be the actor, the gay actor, right? Some of you guys are going to be the actor that was at the Birdcage Theater, and some of the crowd would be like, "That's beautiful," and then the crowd would shoot bullets at you. Not hit you, but they'd shoot bullets at you. There's over 100, I believe it's around 138 bullet slugs still stuck in the bar, the ceiling, and the stage of the Birdcage Theater in Tombstone, Arizona. They left those slugs in there just to just to show how entertainment worked back then. And think of all the entertainment. We're just full of screens right now. Back then, there's no TV, guys. You had to entertain yourselves. When you wanted to see entertainment, you went to one place. You went and had drinks, and there's a piano player. You had the Birdcage Theater, where you had acting and dancing and music. You had a whole thing. You had a bar, and you had 24-hour gambling under the Birdcage Theater. 24-hour gambling. See, that's where I'd been. I'd be under there spending all my coin, losing, winning half my fights, and then getting the shit kicked out of me the other half. Because I'm being honest with myself. I'm not gonna say I'll be Wyatt Earp. I'm not doing it. So you got to be like, it's like when you get, if like they say reincarnation, you were or another life, you were a warrior in another life. We all can't be warriors. Some of you guys were gardeners. Some of you guys got stolen from. Some of you guys got you weren't soldiers. You weren't warriors. Yeah, it can't be. But of course, the movies depict everybody as being these beautiful, majestic warriors. Which we weren't. We couldn't have been. I definitely like to think I wouldn't be a coward, or anybody in my family would be cowards. Hopefully not. But you never know. You never know. Because I haven't done that, whatever that, 22andMe or whatever the hell they call that. And you go and look back at your family, which I am. I'm going to do it. I think that'd be very interesting. But it's going to find that you had like a serial killer in your family. You're like, shit, man. Wish I didn't know that. Now I know that. You had like the butcher of Belize is like your great uncle. He was just butchering and eating children. You're like, oh, come on, man. I got that in my family. I don't need that. I don't need that in life. So it's like, I believe like all the, so now we're now in 2024. Where things have changed immensely, right? Just in the last few years, just how entertainment happens, how people communicate, how people make money, do work. A lot of it's on the internet, just these digital text messages and these digital downloads and these digital wave files. This podcast is on a wave file right now, so it's, like music, my business is definitely very different. And, grew up playing punk rock music, and I love punk rock music, of course, right? But even in my scene, there's these quote unquote punk rockers are the sissiest of them all. They really are. You grew up thinking some of these guys were really tough guys and really driven guys. How are they able to get their music up off the ground, and they're tough and fighting in the street and against authority. And now what's really interesting is that with the new current climate of things, politically, punk rockers have gone soft. Have gone very, very soft. It's very weird to see, And I think you even see that with other things, sports teams and just stuff that you guys are into. You're like, wow, you've gone soft. Like, never mind what your political view is, just the all-around sissiness of it all. The all-around I really don't care who my best friend is voting for. I don't give a rat's ass. I'll love them the same. It's all good. Doesn't matter. What matters to me, if you're just so lame about it and so we're just so sissified about it. And I think you know what I'm talking about. Like, I don't even think I need to go into crazy details, but like I said, in my field, in music and everything, I've never seen such cowardice. I've never seen such just lameness, as we used to say when we were younger. That guy's a lame. He's lame. And what that means, you're useless to me. You're useless to everybody around you. And man, I've seen it so much in this music scene that I'm in, and where I'm just looking at these cowards, and they're saying things they don't believe, and that's just really just being online and social media. And I am not on social media hardly ever. If any of you follow me, you can almost see, like, my last time I post something was like 2 weeks ago, which I'm always being told by somebody that works with me is like, you need to post more. I go, I do. I mean, I'm pretty happy without seeing all the nonsense on Facebook and all these other Instagrams and all this virtual is it virtual signaling or virtue signaling? I think it's virtue signaling. And what that is just you're posting something like, oh, everybody's going to love me. Like, we need to save the homeless. Someone will post that, right? Okay, we'll go out there and get to work. Go out there and get to work. But instead they're putting their phone on a selfie stick and going out there and sticking it in a homeless person's face while they give them a sandwich. And then they post it on Facebook and go, look how good I am. Look at me. Look how great I am. And I know some of you, and I see it, and some of you I would call friends at one time, and boy, what I see you guys doing online is insane. It's insane, man. I mean, just the amount of lameness and disingenuous posts and YouTube videos, it's insane to me. So when I don't see it, it's kind of nice. I just go about my life. I go about my life, hang out with my friends, and run my business, and run and play music and record music. That's what it's about. Not seeing all this nonsense that is being posted. And I would implore all you and my friends out there to really don't let the media get you all fired up about stuff. Don't do it. I see it happening. Because even if you agree with it, and we've said this many times on this podcast, even if you agree with it, it still gets you all fired up. And then you start looking out there, and I see it. You see many people, even at the shows, man. I'll go to a hardcore metal show where they're singing about the devil, right? But they're all wearing masks, and they're afraid of COVID. You're singing about the devil. Why are you afraid of? If you were really afraid of COVID, would you go to the Palladium where there's thousands of people there? That doesn't make any sense, right? Right? Doesn't make any sense. And you're wearing masks. You're wearing these surgical masks. You're Americans wearing surgical masks. It's silly, right? Even it's silly. You have to know. All you're trying to do is virtue signal and say, I'm a good guy. I'm trying to be a good guy. And I'm over here listening to death metal. I'm going to listen to death metal, but I still, want to not cough on you. Come on, guys. Come on. It's nonsense. Stop with the nonsense. Stop with the sissiness, the lameness. And I'm especially saying that in the punk rock scene. Oh, my God, have you guys become pussies? Holy shit. It's crazy to me. It's insane to me. Where if Jack Grisham from TSOL takes a picture with a cop that has a TSOL tattoo on his forearm, you dumb fucking keyboard cowboys start getting on this guy's case. You know what I mean? And then you start calling them racist, which is the craziest thing that you guys are doing. You know what you're doing. You know the moment it has nothing to do with racism or being a misogynist, and you just start throwing those words out because you think you can cut somebody down with that because you're a keyboard cowboy. And what's funny is I've gotten hit with some of that nonsense too. And I happen to go when you click on some of their profiles, you're like, holy shit, look at this kid. You're like, this kid is 16. He's 300 pounds. And he hasn't combed his hair in 72 days. And you're like, and this guy's online just going, you piece of shit. You are a racist piece of shit. You're like, oh my God. And it's funny. And here's why they're winning, because I'm talking about it. Because it's actually in my head. It's in my brain. It's taking up space in my brain. As they say, they're living in my brain rent free. You got to get rid of that. And I'm definitely getting rid of that for sure. Much happier, for sure. But there is a virtual world out there. It's very, very interesting. It's very interesting. And where people will be like, what happened to you? Are you okay? Have you disappeared? No. And in fact, I'm working harder than ever. No, in fact, I'm just not typing on my phone. Right? Using my phone. I'm not barely even using my phone, actually. Because you really just, you're texting back and forth with your agent, or you're texting back and forth with a manager, your band members, or whatever, your coworkers. It is definitely an easier way to communicate. But, I mean, come on, guys. You guys got to get out of your house. Stop it. I see it. I see it happening. You guys don't see it? See, all this is making me want to drink now. Let me take a drink of my Blue Moon Belgian White. Let's check this out. I haven't had a Blue Moon in a while. I definitely, see. I don't drink a lot of beer much anymore. Mostly drinking whiskey. But when you have a good beer, it does hit the spot. Nice cold beer. Come on, guys. Come on. And it is funny how it's where you read these things online, or someone shows you something online, and then your friends come over and you go out to the pub. It doesn't exist. What you're seeing online doesn't exist in real life. You know? Like, it's really funny. Like, some of my family members, they get you with it, right? Like you guys know, I'll have, these braids in my hair. When my hair gets long, I'll put kind of like a quote unquote these Viking braids in my hair, and then members of my family will go, "Oh, you're not allowed to have those braids anymore. That's culture, whatever the fuck, culture appropriation or whatever." And I go, that doesn't exist, guys. It does that term does not exist, and it definitely doesn't apply to me. 100%, it doesn't. No one's gonna say anything, which no one ever has, and no one ever will. It's just what they got going on in the media, and then my family members are sitting there in their chair watching the news, and they get all fired up, and they're worried about, say, my safety. Oh, someone's going to yell at you for having braids. I guarantee, guys, no one's going to. It's not going to happen. It's okay. We've all had braids in our hair in life. It's only people pulling that the culture vultures is what they call them, where and it's always like a really lame little skinny white person that's like, hey, we need to stand up for African Americans. I was like, you do? They need you? Your little skinny ass, you barely can walk up the steps without fainting. How are you gonna help those folks? How are you gonna help? You're not. You're only typing it, and then you go back to watching Gilmore Girls. Or how old is that show? I don't know. I just thought of a sissy show I could say. Whatever lame shows are out there right now. You see it. You see it. It's insane. I go to the pet store and I go pick up my dog's food, and I see this girl. She's probably 87 pounds. She's got two masks on with a with glasses on, and she has blue hair. Sometimes it's green, and you're just like, and she's nice, she's a nice young girl. But I'm going, man, your body is screaming for some form of sustenance, for something. But I'm sure you're a vegan, which is okay. Nothing wrong with being a vegan. But you're a vegan, and you're out there protesting. You're out there with you show up to work with a Black Lives Matter shirt on, and you're the whitest of white. You have not seen the sun in a long time, which is ironic. It's very funny, very interesting. So those are just my bitches and gripes, and it's more of like really this stems from my gripe of what I'm seeing in the music scene, man. I mean, what a bunch of cowards. What's funny is most of the artists that are successful are not so cowardly. I mean, I guess they are when it comes to really speaking up, but I guess I can understand that. Sometimes you're like, it's just, I'm not going to sit there and speak on every dumb thing, and you're not going to, it's so lame and stupid, like it's like, hey, they go up to a famous musician or something where it's like, I don't know, let's name a country singer, let's name like Toby. Did Toby Keith just die? I think he did. I was about to say Toby Keith, but let's say, boy, I don't know a lot of those artists really. Isn't that funny? That Jelly Roll is very big these days. And they go, Jelly Roll, what do you think about trans athletes? And he's like, don't bother me with those dumb questions. They're just trying to get a rise out of you because it's a dumb question. What do you think of a trans? What do you think of a trans man? Fucking swimming or fighting or whatever. You're just like, well, we all know it's ridiculous, right? We all know it's ridiculous. Even when people are like, no, I'm all for it. You're only saying that because that's what you were taught to say. So it's ridiculous. So, I mean, they're just trying to bait you, and you don't do it. You don't get baited. You got to be smart. It's the same thing. It's a very similar to if any of you guys have been married and say you've had a really bad divorce, and your ex-wife is trying to bait you into saying something aggressive or something terrible so she can use that against you in the court of law. And then you just don't do it. You got to be smart. It's the same thing. They're trying to bait you. Anytime you're an aggressive individual, which most of you should be, it's important. Anytime you're aggressive or can fly off the handle, you got to be careful because they try to bait you. And I've had some fools online have definitely tried to bait me in saying some shit where they can copy and paste it and post it and be like, look at this racist, misogynist piece of shit, Ian Down. And I don't fall for it. And I think luckily because I'm a little experienced in this game, I'm a little experienced in also dealing with people like that. My whole life, people have tried to do that where they bait you and then say you fly off the handle when you hit them or something. They go, see, look at him. See, he's dangerous. But although you've been poking the bear, they say. You got the stick, you've been poking the bear for 3 weeks, and all of a sudden the bear swats you. And then you go, why did the bear do this? This bear needs to be put down. Well, maybe you need to be put down because you're the problem. If you find yourself, now definitely I'm guilty of being drunk and leaving a message or two that where I'm just like, gay, you guys are lame, I've definitely it's every time I'm drunk though. I'm never sober and doing that. Cause like even when I see so many things that are lame online and I don't comment, I just move along. I got to move along with my life. I got to move along and do things like this. I enjoy this. I enjoy this little therapy session we have here with Ian's Rants podcast. I like how I can't get my own name right. Ian's Rant. I guess that doesn't fly off the tongue very well, though, does it? Interesting. But anyways, like for example, I'm not going to be Mr. Motivation, but you got to find things that motivate you. I don't care what it is. You got to find things that motivate you, or you're going to be those millions and millions of people on Facebook and Instagram leaving terrible comments, calling some poor girl fat. She's 16 or something, and her dumbass is over there dancing in a bikini, and there's just 87 dudes saying she looks fat, or 1,000 Indian dudes saying show me your boobs. It's fucking crazy. The internet is crazy. The internet is undefeated and crazy. It's wild. It's a wild place out there because people are able to hide their identity and just say some shit. They're able to just say some weird shit, and you're just like, what's wrong with you? Like, just one time I want you guys to go under, say like a model's page, some lady that's a model, and she's super hot, right? And then it is fun. Go down the comments and read one of the comments, and then you go, who the fuck would say something like that? Even if it's not negative, it's just like something gross or creepy or whatever, right? And then go ahead, or I'm gonna say more lame. I hate gross and creepy. That's dumb. Whatever. Like men like to creep on girls. It is what it is. But I'm just saying something lame, And click on that guy's profile, and sometimes you'll click on the guy's profile, and he's like, his first picture's like him with his kid at baseball practice or something. You're like, Jesus Christ, dude, what are you doing commenting on this fucking girl's page? It's lame. I don't know why you're doing it. Like, put some of that energy in your kids, which brings me to another thing. Like, I know a guy, he's got kids. I think he's got like 3 kids. He's on Facebook and Instagram all day long posting political stuff and posting just nonsense. A lot of it is hateful shit against Trump, or, like, all right, I don't care how you feel about Trump. It is wild when it's just 100 pictures of anti-Trump shit on your page. You're like, don't you have a family? Don't you have a wife and 3 kids? Where are you finding the time for all that? Like, how much scrolling are you doing? I would definitely get rid of some of that useless scrolling. You know what I mean? Like get back to your fucking family. What's up, homeboy? What's up? Big D just rolled in. I'm going to close this out in a second. Daniel, real quick, dude, let me ask you a question. Or go ahead, do what you got to do, and then I'll keep ranting. Because I want to ask Daniel the question of, okay, it's always funny, like, we've been, here, I can get you a mic immediately. Watch this, boom. Bam. Look at that. That's being an engineer
check.
There. You're back.
Can you hear me in there?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're good. So I started. What's interesting is we all like to think, like when you go to psychics, and the psychic's like, you were a warrior in your past life, right? You were an ironsmith. You made swords for the right. Everyone's something cool. Now, not everybody can be something cool. Right? Yeah. Well, so I'm being realistic. What I would be. Now, I love to drink. I love to gamble. I like to fight, and I got a big mouth, right?
Yeah.
So like if I was like in Tombstone, Arizona at that time in the Old West.
Yeah.
I'm being honest with myself. I'd make it to my 20s probably, and then someone would get me, right? Like I'd be like, I got a few gunsling. I got a couple. Now I'm all hyped up. I'm like, oh, dude, I'm the shit.
Yeah.
Right. But I don't think I'd make it that long.
Your lifespan. What's like an old back then?
I think old's like 40.
So you're 20 or 30.
I think I'd make it to like 20. I'd be 20 years old.
So like an old man is like.
I mean, I'd probably already be married.
You'd be married at 16 years old.
Yeah, I mean, and also there was only, there wasn't a lot of people around either. So it's like that's why everyone was like, I was in love with my first cousin.
So would you be like gunslinging back then, or would you just be the guy? Would you just be like playing poker at the bar, saying everyone's like cheating and shit?
Yeah, I think I might be that, but I would get in some gunfights. I don't think I'd be like Mr. Gunslinger.
You call me a liar? You call me a liar?
I'd definitely be that guy. Yeah. And I'd win a few of them.
Call me a liar.
And then one time I'd like Billy the Kid would fuck me up.
Yeah. And then they'd be like, all right, you just killed your 4th guy. Give me your guns. You're just gonna go in timeout in the jail for a night, and then you're out of there.
Yeah, they're all hey, Law and Order first. Give me your guns. I gotta present them before Judge Spicer.
Yeah. Right?
By
the way, the only only knowledge I have of the westerns is just watching Tombstone thousands of times. So that's what I think westerns are. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, you cheated.
Yep.
And then you killed somebody for calling you a cheater. They take your guns and you go, and then you go on your merry way.
Well, what movies don't do is that there was more fist fights back then. They weren't quick to the gun that fast all the time. They would get into fist fights. You know, where in movies, I guess because you have to move the movie along, so they weren't just like, "What, liar, boom." Right? You definitely go, "What, you want to?" Yeah, you know, you fucking you do the land. What do you think you would be if in the old West? Like honestly,
what's the what's the possibilities of what you can do?
Well, I mean,
are you either like?
I mean, they had banks. They were bankers and bartenders and cattle. You know, cattle ranchers and
yeah. I don't think I'm a rancher, man.
You know, it's like be honest. Like, would you? You know, because like A Million Ways to Die in the West. Yeah. There had to have been a few fucking people who were like, dude, what the fuck? I don't want to fight. And where's the gay guys back then?
Like, I don't know if I'm the... Who's the main... Seth MacFarlane's character?
Oh, I don't remember his... What is his name? I don't remember his name.
What is... I haven't seen that in a long time. What's his deal? Is he just not... He's just kind of a pussy or not?
Well, I guess to their... to them, he's kind of a pussy because he doesn't want to fight.
No, because
and he's always like
he can't shoot and shit.
And he's kind of a smart mouth. He can't shoot. He can't do shit. And in fact, he's a sheep farmer. He can't even do that right.
Right. Fuck, I don't want to be that guy. Then.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be that
guy. No, I mean, like. To me, when I watch a lot of westerns, like being the bartender looks fun. Where you're just like, they're like another one. You're like, all right, and they give you a sack of the exact change you want.
They just, bing.
And then they go, that'll be a shot, and then they throw me a sack of whatever.
The whole bottle. You pour it yourself.
Yeah. And then I go, listen here, mister, not tonight. And I do that. And I go, come on, mister, not tonight. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, and always they always make it like everybody's looking for a fight back then.
Yeah.
If that was true, nothing would get done at all.
Yeah.
So that can't be.
So I'd be either that or I do like being a part of a group.
Yeah.
So I like the team aspect of it. So I'd probably be a part of something.
Yeah.
Like some sort of, I guess we call them a gang or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Or I mean,
a group of people.
There was a few actors. There was the performance art. They had a lot of performance art going on.
Yeah, but then you're getting shot by the guys that are fucking.
Yeehaw!
It's a great performance. Pa pa pa.
Yeah. In Tombstone, there's over 138 slugs stuck near the stage, still in Tombstone.
I'd be like in a group that's like Wyatt Earp-esque, where it's like you're not a psychopath like the Cowboys are.
Yeah.
Like I'm not that. I don't want to just like I'm not just gonna roam around and be like, "What'd you say?" and then pop.
Or a sheriff or the courthouse. Work for the courthouse.
I'd be like in the middle. You know what? I'd be in the middle like Doc. Yeah. Doc Holliday. I'd be kind of roaming.
Doc Holliday, I wouldn't say he's in the middle. Doc Holliday was...
He's a psychopath too, huh?
Doc Holliday was a psychopath.
Fuck, I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah, Doc Holliday, well, because he was dying, so he didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
So who knows what happened before he got leukemia.
Who's the older brother in Tombstone?
Well, you got Morgan. Maybe you'd be a good Morgan.
So
Virgil.
Virgil.
Yeah.
I think I have the temperament of Virgil.
Yeah, Virgil was.
Yeah. I'll get some jobs done.
Yeah.
But like I'm like, all right, guys, let's.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be like, like pistol whipping.
Because we all like to think we'd be this guy.
No, I wouldn't be that
fucking gunslinger.
I liked Virgil in Tombstone.
Yeah.
Because he's even though he's the older guy, he's kind of like I'm just gonna go home with my girl and.
Yeah.
And if you need me, we'll fuck some shit up. But I'm kind of chilling.
Go back with your prostitute that you married.
yeah, exactly. Because that's like true love back then, probably, right?
All women were prostitutes, so it was like That's why I like in Tombstone.
Yeah, but she's nice.
Yeah. Well, in Tombstone, there's that part where they go, gosh, the ladies go, gosh, we could be sisters when they meet.
Yeah.
And then Virgil goes, I wonder where he found his, and he goes, probably same place we found ours.
Yeah.
So it's like every woman was once a prostitute for the most part.
Yeah,
isn't that wild?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Like, do you talk about your past with your prostitute wife? You're just
that's crazy. Yeah, but
you're just
thinking about that time is wild, dude.
It was wild because everybody was just and Tombstone was a boom town, so everybody was just trying to make $1.
Yeah.
Everybody, they were out there mining for gold. You were just a gold miner. You try to find some gold and then turn that in for coin.
Right.
You know, it was a wild time. You break an ankle, you're just like, well, fuck.
Dude, that's what's like when people go, oh, I'd love to travel back in time to this, like those past eras. I'm like, so there's no medical anything, like, at all. So if you scrape your knee and you don't take care of it, you're fucked.
Can you bring antibiotics with you? Is what because there was no antibiotics.
Yeah.
So just like an infection, you're done. That leg's got to come off.
You're done.
Yeah.
That sucks.
You're like, I got an infection in my toe, and the doctor's like, well, that toe's got to come off.
That sucks.
Because it'll make its way up to your leg. And you're like, well, goddamn.
Yeah.
I like that toe.
It's like that Oregon Trail game I used to play at school.
Yeah.
It's like your whole wagon's got cholera. Thanks.
Yeah.
Just from crossing some lake or something.
Yeah, cholera would wipe out a whole family just like that. It was just
we got cholera.
That's
so,
it. Later, guys. And so
what's that? We got smallpox. I know we're family, but I got to leave you here. You know,
like how you got to think about how many really just had to, like, their kids would just die. He's just like, well, fuck.
Yeah.
All right. But I think at that time too is what we forget is like it was survival mode. Everything was survival. You did everything just to survive. People weren't trying to get famous. They were like, I'm just trying to survive here.
Yep. Well, speaking of that, I think if I'm in that time, I got a Virgil temperament, but I am secretly in wherever I live in the back, like trying to become the fastest fucking draw.
Nice.
I'm trying to become because you got to be ready.
Yeah. So you stayed pretty safe till you got Virgil. So you probably be like a Virgil. You can you can sling him by that age.
Yeah. If I'm in that time,
yeah,
I'm like secretly like I'm gonna be the fastest fucking draw. I'm gonna get like my pop time of.
You'd be probably a secret little pop. Maybe you'd be like a little Billy the Kid.
Okay.
Because Billy the Kid was a little fella.
Yeah.
He was a tiny little fella, but he can boom. He can boom.
Yeah, man. I'm like I wouldn't speak much, but I'd be very like,
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah. I think that's probably a better way to be too.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I think the way I am would be the worst way to be.
So what would you compare yourself to?
If anybody in Tombstone,
I like how I'm just narrowing this whole podcast to Tombstone, but like,
well, no, I started talking about Tombstone, but
cool.
It works. It's almost hard to say for me because it sucks. I'd be like, honestly, I'd be fucking Ike or something.
Oh, nah, not Ike.
Well, I know he's a bad guy, but he's like,
no, you're not Ike because isn't Ike's the one that's like you're gonna die. Like, no, he's I'm sorry, Ike.
Ike is one of the guys from the Clanton clan.
Yeah, which one's Ike? I forgot you.
What? No, that's not. No.
Oh no. Who am I thinking of?
You're thinking Johnny Tyler. Oh, Johnny, I forgot you were there. You may go
not
now.
that one. Not that one.
Ike Clanton is the one where he goes. Maybe poker's just not your game, Ike.
yeah.
I know. Let's have a spelling contest. And then Ike goes, "How about I wring your scrawny neck like that?" And he's laughing at him.
Yeah.
I mean, Ike was a kind of a little scummy guy, and he was also a horse thief in real life too. So I'd hope to not be a horse thief, really, but But I'd definitely be gambling and be like, when I say, just you fucking.
Well, what's wrong? So what? So you get. Well, hold on.
Well,
you're gambling. Hold on. You're gambling. You like to drink a little bit. You kind of, ask questions later. Let's fuck some shit up. Is it not Doc?
No,
Doc Holliday?
No, because Doc he had like the fastest gun. So I think I'd have mid-level gun.
Mid-level gun.
I'd have, I'm trying to be honest. I think I'd have mid-level gun.
You're a baseball player, bro. You got some hand eye.
Yeah, I got hand eye. I'm
telling me if you didn't have. You telling me that if you had unlimited time to practice that draw, because that's all you had to do back then was go drink and gamble, and then on your free time probably just be like shooting trees and shit. I think you'd be pretty fast.
Sounds like a great life. Though, I gamble and then I gunfight, dude. Yeah. Oh my god, that gets all the girls.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, I'm trying to be honest with my record of like fist fights in real life. So my record of I'm a 50-50 guy.
Oh, okay.
I'm a 50-50 guy. But with gunfights, 50-50 is not good. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. I think I'd win a few gunfights and be all fucking cocky,
Yeah.
and then fucking Johnny Ringo. I run into Johnny Ringo,
Oh fuck yeah.
and then Ringo's all cold blooded, dude.
There's levels. Yeah.
There's levels, and he's over here doing this thing
Yeah.
with the thing, and I'm like, shit, I can't do that. But I wouldn't back down. I go, well, I have to die, guys. I guess I have to die because I'm not going to back down to anything, and I would probably gamble more coin than I have.
Yeah.
So I'd be in debt.
Yeah.
I'd definitely be in debt. But check this out. People would like me, though. Here's what I do think. People would like me in town. I wouldn't be hated. People would like me.
Yep.
Be like, fucking Ian, he's fun. They'd be like, that's just Ian. And then there'd be a new guy that comes into town. He's like, I don't like Ian very much. And I'd be like, friend, you just bumped into me, friend. Right? And he'd be like, well, I'd be like, you spilt my drink. And then he'd be like, well, maybe you should go up the creek and take a dip. And then I'd be like, last chance, friend. And he'd be like, I'm not your friend.
Yeah. And then you wouldn't know me at the time, but I'd be like, but then I'd come up behind you and be, there a problem? And then I'd just flash my gun real quick because that's
nice.
And then me and you and I'd be like, we got a problem here? And we'd be like, not tonight. He'll be like, not tonight. We'll be back. You'll all see, right? And then we'll bond over that and we'll start drinking and then we'll start a crew, dude.
There we go. And I'd be like, you were lucky.
Yeah.
And then I find out that he was the fastest gun draw. I'd be like, shit.
Yeah.
And then we get him. We recruit him.
And we become the best tag team in the whole town because you got close combat.
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, if you got close combat and you're fucking people up aside, and then the people that are coming in from the end, I just shoot them. Pow, pow, pow. I'm like the long range sniper of the group.
You'd be like Doc. Yeah, I'd be like Wyatt because Wyatt wasn't much of a gun.
Yeah,
slinger.
he's just like he's gonna pistol whip you with your gun.
He's gonna pistol whip you.
Yeah.
Although what's interesting with Wyatt is that apparently he had the best luck ever in life. People would just shoot at him and he'd just walk towards them and be like,
yeah.
And then they wouldn't hit him.
Yeah.
He was probably made to be a sheriff, So I always think that's interesting to because we all want to be the gunslinger, but let's all be honest with ourselves, But if you're smart, you're right. Yeah. You're like from the day you're born, you'd be like, I need to learn how to shoot this gun.
Yeah,
I need to learn how to be a gunslinger.
Just because every Western ever.
Yeah. Right. Well, that's why I think that movie, Million Ways to Die in the West, was so smart because there was definitely that guy that was like, I'm not going to fight you. They're like, well, what are you, a coward? He's like, well, yeah, actually I am. Yeah. And I'm good with it. I've made peace with being a coward.
Well, he got a Charlize Theron at the end.
Yeah, which, I don't know if that really. Charlize Theron back in the day is not going with that coward.
Oh, yeah.
Nope. She's going with
Liam Neeson's character.
She's going with Lee. Well, no, he was a jerk off. So he would go. She'd end up with Wyatt Earp.
Right.
Yeah, she'd definitely be with Wyatt Earp for sure.
Wyatt Earp's stealing everybody's girl, dude.
Wyatt Earp is everybody wants that mustache. Every girl wants that mustache on their thighs, dude.
Yeah.
Imagine. There's no AC back then. Imagine sex back then. Oh my God.
There's no Wi-Fi at all back there. How do they
live? There's no fucking Wi-Fi.
How do they live, dude?
Man,
how do they not take pictures of? How do they not take pictures and video everything that's going on in life? How do they just hound everybody?
And their picture, when they want to take a picture, they had to have a lot of money to take a picture, and it took 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So that's why there's no smiles.
So here's Wyatt Earp in today's society. Yeah. He just walks outside and you got paparazzi just in his grill all the time, and then he pistol whips them or whatever.
But then gets called a racist. Yeah,
calls him.
I'd be like, he's a misogynist. See, he hit that guy. That guy is gender fluid. That guy was a girl. And Wyatt Earp's like, I didn't know he was a girl, dude. Man, like a Bill and Ted's where they go back in time and they bring Wyatt Earp back to now. And Wyatt Earp's like, wait, say what now?
Yeah.
What's happening?
Yeah.
Wyatt Earp's trying to fight people, and that guy's like, you're a racist. And Wyatt Earp is like, what does that mean? Wyatt Earp's like, what? I don't like Chinamen? No, you don't like black people. He's like, what black people? Where?
What is this? The new Bill and Ted would be sweet.
That would be awesome.
That'd be sweet, man.
I thought the new Bill and Ted, they didn't do what they should have done.
Yeah.
Bill and Ted wasn't as good. Jenna's sick. She's sickly, so be careful. I don't want you.
Speaking of paparazzi, I went down a rabbit hole of celebrities like going after paparazzi, man.
Yeah, that's a great rabbit hole.
That's a great rabbit hole, man. And I always thought it'd be funny to be paparazzi for paparazzi. So you find out who the normal paparazzi are.
Yeah.
And then you go hound them while they're hounding. It's like you hound them.
Dude, I love that.
And you go, oh my God, what? And you find out where they live.
Yeah.
And then you're paparazzi the paparazzi.
And how can they get mad at that?
Right.
How would you can't you do that?
We find out who the usual suspects are. Of like who's the main guy?
Like TMZ, who's the guy?
Who's the main TMZ guy?
And we'd be CMT.
Yeah.
ZMT.
Yeah, man. Paparazzi.
That's a great idea.
Paparazzi the paparazzi.
Paparazzi the paparazzi.
And see how they like it. Because these paparazzi videos, I know I'm going. We were just talking about westerns, but I don't know why that came.
No, it's good.
Anyways, dude, like these people are like I went down this rabbit hole. They're relentless in the flashes. They're relentless and just be like, hey, like they're like seagulls.
Yeah, yeah.
They're the celebrity is the piece of bread.
Yeah,
and then these paparazzis are just the seagulls, and that's all they care about in life. And I go, I don't know how people live like that. Like that they are the ones that are doing. I don't get that one.
That's a great way to put it. They're seagulls.
Yeah, they're seagulls, man.
Mine.
Yeah.
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 And people tell them, people rat on them too. People will rat on the celebrities. So like if they're at a club or something, and the paparazzi will pay the guy that ratted too. So, but how could you be that paparazzi guy? Is my question. When do you become that guy that's like, I got to get a picture of George Clooney?
Yeah, dude. Like,
and then I'll sit outside his home, and then I'll stick a camera in his face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a weird mentality. You're mentally ill.
It is I think you know what, dude? I think paparazzi might be a mental illness.
You have to be. The time you're spending thinking about somebody else.
Yeah.
Right.
I saw one with Ashton Kutcher, right? And he's just trying to walk his dogs in the morning. Mm-hmm. And he's like, he knocks on the guy's window, and he's like, I'm just trying to fucking walk my dogs. All I want to do in the morning is just walk my dogs in peace. And then the paparazzi guy, because he opened the car door, was like, whoa, can I close my door? Hello, he's the one. He's playing victim.
Yeah.
And I think these guys are mentally ill, dude.
That's a form of mental illness. You're playing the victim. You go over there and you're putting a camera this far from this guy's head or whatever, right? And then the guy finally goes, whoa, move back, and then you go, ow, and then I'm gonna sue.
Yeah,
that's mental illness, and it's also mental illness if we even the courts are like, oh yeah, we should sue him, like for what? It's crazy. Like, you think about it. Let's just every time you walk out of your house, think about it. Every time you walk out of the house, there's someone in a car staring at you. That's creepy as hell.
Yeah.
And just because this dude's on a show, on a fucking crime show,
I know, bro. You can easily say like, just go with it and be like, hey man, what's going on with you? You know what I mean? But eventually, like, we all have bad days and shit. You don't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah. I mean, your cousin could have just died, and then you got some fucking guy that's like, hey, what do you think of Kylie Jenner? Yeah. You're like, what, dude? Fuck off. This is not reality. There needs. Okay, so what? I mean, legally, what should be done in a perfect world with these vultures, these culture vultures, as they call them?
I don't know what you do. Like, I don't know what you do without performing physical harm. I don't know.
It shouldn't be legal to follow someone with a camera. I don't think that should be legal. I don't care who you are.
I'm trying to think of a celebrity where I don't think I would be that like nosy. Like, there's only I'm
okay. Name who's a guy if we can go like that and you can have dinner with somebody. Who's a celebrity that you look up to and you're like, or that you may even have like celebrity shock, starstruck from?
It was like R.I.P. Kobe. It was Kobe. Like
okay, Kobe.
Right?
That's a great one.
Like, I would love to just.
Okay, so say you found out Kobe lives up the street or something.
Yeah, dude.
Would you sit outside his house?
No.
That's crazy. You definitely cruise by and be like, right?
Well, yeah. Like, so, all right. So put it this: if we're at a restaurant, and he sits in the table next to us, Like I'd probably be like, holy shit, dude, that's Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I would have the need to be like, I just gotta go over that. I don't think I can do that.
Yeah.
I have the awareness of like this guy's just trying to eat with his family or whatever. I don't know.
Oh, especially with his family.
Yeah.
Don't bother a man with his family. If he's like,
If
okay,
he's
say you see him at the bar at a club.
So the extent of what I would, if he sits right next to me at a bar,
Yeah.
I'd be like, holy shit, Kobe. And then I'd be like, what's up, man? And then he'd be like, what's going on? And I'd be like, not much. And then I'd probably freeze and then let him go on with his, like, I'm not going to ask for a picture, I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think so, man.
Because it always sucks. Yeah, man. And I wish I had a little bit of that gene in
Fuck.
me of the ask for picture gene.
Yeah.
I wish I did. I can't bring myself to fucking do it. And I wish I did, but I'm terrible. I'm also terrible at it. I'll be like, oh shit, that's fucking so-and-so. And then I'll try to I don't want to bother him. I don't want to bother the guy. You know?
And I think we're going to be just fine. Because if we have even a 1% of like, I don't know if I should bother him, then you're a productive member of
I wish
society,
I would
think.
bother him a little bit though. I wish I wish I'd be like, hey, I'm Ian. I wish, but I fucking can't, dude.
But I guess it goes back to feel. You have to have feel for momentum and a moment and timing.
And usually
and rhythm. You have to have rhythm in life. You have to have timing in life.
You did say something. You have to have feel. Yeah,
You have to have feel. There's feel for if you're just shooting hoop at a basket. If you're just shooting playing pickup at a court, and then Kobe Bryant just comes up, and you're like, now's the time to be like, oh shit, Kobe, what's going on? Because we have a feel for the moment. If you're in some.
You have to reckon. It's almost dumb if you don't recognize him, though. Like I'm not gonna be like, "Oh shit, Kobe," because he knows right?
Yeah, but
especially he's 6'7", arguably the greatest basketball player that ever lived. So you have to be like, "Oh, or do you say, "Oh shit, Kobe," or be like, "Oh hey, Kobe, I'm happy to see you," or whatever.
I think that's totally fine. Like if you're like, "Oh shit, what's going on, man?" and then that's it.
Yeah,
but most of the time I'm like, oh my god. I'd probably be like, oh my god, fuck.
I've regretted every time I regret somebody that I think is like cool and I've recognized and I'm right there. I regret every time I don't.
You don't say anything,
and I don't. I just don't, man. I suck. Like it makes me so mad that I didn't.
Yeah.
Just I don't even. But what are you supposed to say? Like I want to be like, oh hey, like. Talking to Duff McKagan from Guns N' Roses, I wanted to be like, I'm a bass player too, and I didn't.
All right,
I didn't.
Where was that at?
Outside the Viper Room.
Oh, okay.
I was walking Barron, and he has Levitt Bulldogs too.
Fuck.
And so Duff McKagan
There
was
with him.
No, not with him.
He was performing or something.
He was performing in his other band, and he was sitting outside. He goes, "Hey, Levitt Bulldog," and I go, "Hell yeah, man, thanks." And he was like, "Oh man, I got a Levitt," and we just started chatting about dogs. Midway through, I go, this is Duff McKagan from Guns N' Roses. I was like, holy shit. And I didn't bring it up. I just kept talking, and we just kept doing a thing. And I was like, all right, man, right on. I'll see you later. He's like, hey, nice to meet you. Nice to talk to your dog, man. And then we left.
Yeah.
And I go, I wish I would have been like, you're Duff McKagan.
So I think you're in then. I think you're in then.
Yeah, I mean, we talked for a good...
Yeah. You got something in common with the dogs, and now you be... I'm sure, like, if you threw in...
like I'm
a bass player too, and he'd be like, "Oh shit, cool."
Yeah, I play here also. Like I would have liked to do that, but I'm always just like,
that's all right.
He seemed like a very nice guy too, but it was just like I can't bring myself to do it. I just can't. I don't know why. Yeah. I suck at it, and I feel that I've missed on some things, maybe some opportunities because of those sort of things.
Right.
But like I told you that one with Manson. Manson's my almost my Kobe.
Oh yeah,
actually, yeah. Like if I go, holy shit, and I was in an elevator with Marilyn Manson, and I was like, hey, big fan. He was like, thanks, man. Done, and it was done, and that was it. But it's like, man, I'd love to have a conversation, but you can't really have a conversation because he knows. He's always he knows I know who he is, and I've listened to everything. He knows that, right? So you're just like. I guess I don't know what that, right? Because I always like when someone comes up to me, it was like, "Hey, I like your music." I'm like, "Thanks, man. It's fucking awesome." I'd love to talk about me more.
Yeah.
I would. What else? Yeah. What else? What else you like?
What else? For real.
But, and I don't know if they feel that same way.
So if Manson, I guess I go back to feel, dude. It's got to be if there's a, where that's kind of like we're not rushing or anything like that, and you're just sitting, and someone walks up. That's all right.
Or it's, and I've seen the other side. I've seen where people just like, oh my God, and they're just like, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
can I finish my beer or do I have to leave now? You know, I've seen that too.
Well, the oh my God people, like, I think it's very 0 or 100. It's either like, there's no like, I'm going to have a conversation with this person. If they're like, oh my God, it's you?
Right.
Then you're like, ooh, okay. I got to assess if it's either I got to get out of here quick or I'm just, you know what I mean? Like, if you're just like, hey, what's going on, man? Like a fucking normal person.
Or like Chuck, I sat next to Chuck Zito at the bar.
Okay.
You know what Chuck Zito is?
Is that like a,
he's famous for being
right?
a
Hell's Angel?
Angel.
Yeah.
And then a famous bodyguard.
And he's an actor.
And he's in Sons of Anarchy
yeah.
also.
Yeah.
And he's always on Howard Stern and whatever.
I think he was like Frankie in the show, Frankie Diamonds or something. Yeah.
And anyways, he was sitting right next to me. We were sitting at a lounge, and he was just sitting right next to me in a suit. He looked good and everything. He's just sitting by himself. And I wanted to be, and I didn't do it. The whole time just going like with my eyes, like, you know. He's interesting to me. I've listened to him on Howard Stern since I was a teenager, you know, and all all this shit. We all just knew who Chuck Zito was. And I didn't say anything. And he seemed like a nice guy, but, you know, he was talking with people. But just another incident where I'm just like, I would have liked to shake that big mitt of his, that big fucking hand of his. He's a big boy. Like, some people are just born like that. They're just big people, you know. But I have a lot of those instances where I wish, you know.
I don't think there's anything wrong with keeping it short and sweet and just being like, hey, I'm a big fan.
Big fan.
And then go about you, and then just go about it. Because I think it'd be like, oh, thanks, man. Like, to the actual person, like, no one doesn't want to be like, you don't.
Yeah, I mean,
doesn't like be complimented.
Like,
you know what I mean?
Like, they know who they are.
Yeah,
they have to know.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it's like, do you acknowledge that I know that I know who you are? Are you supposed to acknowledge that? And we're sitting at the bar, so now after I go, hey, a big fan. Now do I just sit like this?
I think that's great.
And we don't say anything after
that's
that?
Great, because you don't know each other. After that, it's just like you done your.
Yeah.
You said what you wanted to say, and then if he sparks something up with you, that's cool. But if not, well,
I guess the ball's in your court, buddy. Yeah. I said, hey, big fan, ball's in your court. I should say that.
Yeah.
Hey, ball's in your court now, buddy.
Yeah.
I want to strike up a conversation, but I don't want to bother you.
There was a singer from a band I like at Target, and we were just in line.
Yeah.
And I went, dude, I like your band a lot. And he goes, fucking for real? And I go, yeah. And he goes, oh, thanks, man. And that was it.
Cool.
And that was it.
Yeah. I think most people but I think it goes in levels. Like mid-level guys like an usher. I told you when I was at the tattoo shop and Usher walked in.
Yeah.
I told you about that, right?
Yeah.
It was fucking chaos. That is another level, I guess, where men are losing their minds.
Yeah.
Which is so weird to me. Because I was like, I know who you are. I don't give a fuck. You know, it's like, it's so weird. I'm going to cry? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Men are crying. It's so weird, dude. So I think maybe there's a mid-level. You know, like if you see fucking Lars or something from Rancid at the bar. That's
that'd be sweet.
That's a good big, hey, Lars, fucking.
Hell yeah, Lars. That's probably like, shit, Lars.
And he'd be super cool about it, for sure, of course. Yeah. Of course. And like Lemmy was always at the Rainbow. And Lemmy was cool as fuck. He was always playing video games every day over there.
Yeah.
And people would just be like, is that fucking, you just see people all day, is that fucking Lemmy? You know? But he was super cool. People would be like, hey, Lemmy, can I take a picture? You go, yeah. And I think he liked it. You know?
Yeah.
So I think it's just, it's levels. You're right, it's levels. But I wish I had a little more of, hey, can I get a picture? Or hey, you know.
Yeah, right.
I wish I had that. And I just don't. I don't have it like on movie sets or like where you're like, oh shit. Actually, I did do it with Timothy Stack. But I had to.
Who's Timothy Stack?
Timothy Stack. He's in like scary movies. A funny guy. Son of the Beach with Howard Stern. Son of the Beach. He used to do Late Night with Dick Dietrich, which was a spoof on these talk shows.
Oh, okay.
You would recognize him if you've seen him. He's in all kinds of. He was mostly in the '90s, but anyways, I did a little thing with him. You know, it was like an internet spoof thing or whatever I did with him a long time ago. And me and Dad used to watch Late Night with Dick Dietrich and die laughing when I was a young kid. Yeah. So I had to tell him about it, but I geared myself up to do it. You know what I mean? It was like a whole thing. And then I saw him at lunch, You know, and I was like, hey, Timothy Stack. He was like, hey, what's up, man? I was like, hey, can I tell you that me and my father bonded watching Late Night with Dick Dietrich? He was like, wow, really? He was stoked.
Yeah.
He was like, wow. He goes, I haven't thought about that show in a long time. I go, dude, it was so funny. He was like, oh, well, thanks, man. I was like, right on, man. And, you know, enjoy your lunch. And then that was it. Oh, actually, then we were walking to the car after we were done shooting. He did one of these.
Oh, cool, man.
That was nice. But anyways, but I, just for Timothy Stack, I was just like working it up. I was just staring at him, just like, I have to go say,
right.
I want to say hi to him. And then what was funny
I think
is
that's cool. I think that's cool to just, because at one point these guys weren't born famous, dude. There's got to be some humanity in there where
there's some humanity, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like where you're still like if you just talk to somebody in a normal, calm tone, like you would just.
You're not a nut.
Well, you're not a nut, fucking nut. Like I think anybody, even the most famous of people, if you just have a calm, hey, what's going on, man? Like just a normal, hey, my name's.
Yo.
I think you're awesome. And then there's a calmness of it. But these people that are just like, Leo, fucking Leo, oh my God.
Click, video, yeah. Yeah, I was listening to Joe Rogan one time, and he was talking about that, and he was like, he was at the dinner with his family one time, and a guy sat at his booth, was like, hey, I'm a big fan.
That's crazy to do. That's crazy to do.
And Rogan was like, no.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You got to. You got to get out of here.
That's crazy.
I got my daughters here. This is
whoa.
Yeah.
He just sat in the booth,
and he goes, "That happens all the time."
That's fucking nuts.
It happens all the time.
Yeah, no feel.
The guy's like, "Oh, hey Joe," and he's holding hands with his daughter. Like, hey, let the man be with his kids, right?
No feel.
It's no feel. I think people are just.
There's no feel. That should be the name of this fucking no feel, dude. You got no feel for the moment at all.
It's wild. And maybe it's because I've said this before. Maybe because we live in California, where maybe it's not that far for us to see a celebrity or somebody that we recognize. Maybe it's not far off. Like they just live over there. It's not a big deal. Maybe, but like if you're in Nebraska or something,
right.
and then all of a sudden you visited and you're like, holy shit, there's so and so.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh my God, I watch you every day, and there you are.
Yeah,
my body convulses. Even still, though.
I don't know if I would act like that, bro. I don't know.
I mean, I definitely know I won't. I wish I had a little half.
So who are we like the biggest fans? Biggest fans of?
Like I love fucking Brad Pitt, dude. Brad Pitt's the man. But I think, like, if he's sitting there, you have to acknowledge though. But I would be like, is he tired of being acknowledged all the time? You know?
I don't know, man.
Is he like? Maybe I'd be like, Brad, I have to acknowledge that you're there. Okay. That would be.
What if like he walks into somebody? We acknowledge that he's here. Everybody, just shut up.
Yeah.
Everybody, calm down.
Yeah. Everybody, just we know he's here.
We all know.
Not a big deal. Okay. Yes, there are cameras on him, and we see him on camera. It's not a big deal. It was just everyone just turns to him. He's like, I gotta leave.
Mine? Yeah.
Because like a Adam Sandler would just show up and play basketball with guys, or he just shows up and so celebrities sometimes do that. They just show up and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You're just like, holy shit, is that?
Do we like match personas? Maybe. I wonder if people like. This is an extreme, but like like say the Jackass guys are in the prime of their lives are out. People expect them to be Jackass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, here's
one.
A big drinker guy like Bert Kreischer or something like that. Everyone's like, well, you're the drinker, so I'm going to buy you all the shots.
I bet you the bar should throw Bert Kreischer probably a couple bucks.
Yeah,
when he comes in, I bet you
that
everybody
bar,
fucking. But I'm going to say something I was ashamed of. One of the guys of Jackass, since you brought that up, I don't remember his name. He's got the fucking mustache. He's a nice guy. He's not the main group. He's like.
Oh, side guy?
He's a side guy.
Side guy. Danger Aaron?
You're getting close. Very close.
Mustache.
Yeah, you're getting very close.
Oh, fuck. Big guy? Preston?
No. He's a thin fella.
Blonde guy? The blonde dude?
Nope. Brown hair.
What's his name, man?
Brown hair. Definitely got a missing tooth. I think.
Steve-O?
Nope. No. He's not the main guy.
No, that's Danger Aaron with the missing.
It's
tooth.
not Danger Aaron.
Fuck.
I would know. God, it'll come to me. Anyways, one of those guys. I was at the Burgundy Room and we were talking with him, and then we were just chatting. We were talking, and I was promoting a show. I was playing and stuff, and we were just chatting and drinking. And he started talking about Jackass, and he was like, "I'm on," he was like, "I'm on Jackass." and I lied and said I don't watch it.
Oh, yeah.
And then after I said it, I go fuck. So I had to keep it up. So then he was like, "Tell me, oh yeah, we do these things." And
He's telling you?
and he was telling me, but
You're trying to make him feel
he
like...
actually came to my show too. And
cool,
my
man.
show was a disaster, but and I didn't talk to him since. But I was ashamed about being that guy that was like, I don't watch it.
Right.
You know, I was trying not to be like, oh yeah, I know who you are. I don't know. I fucked up.
Yeah.
But I think back to that, I go, what a douchebag I am. What a dipshit.
At the time, you're probably like, look, he doesn't want anybody. He doesn't want to be hounded by this thing. I'm just going to be a normal.
I think he wants to be oblivious because he's
guy.
a side guy, so he doesn't get all that.
Right.
He doesn't get it. But.
What a way to be a side guy and jackass, dude. Like, you're sacrificing your body and you're a side guy.
And you're a side guy, yeah.
That's not cool.
He was a very nice guy, but I wish I didn't do that because it almost seemed like he wanted to be my friend. Because he was like, we were fucking boozing all night, and then he showed up to my show, and we were hanging at the show and everything. But yeah, I still kept the persona. It was like, oh no, I just met you. You're a cool guy at the bar. That I wanted to give you a flyer. You know, so stupid, so stupid. But you're right. All feel, guys. Just all fucking feel. You know who's good at it? Our boy Justin. He's great at going up to people like, hey, can I get a picture with you?
Yeah.
Difference is his celebrities are like fucking Mark from Guttermouth, though. So it's a little easier. Yeah, it's a little easier. Yeah. All right, man, let's get out of here. We're out, guys. Cheers.